Good evening, Mahn, and welcome to the Bach Boys. We are boys who love the Bach. Boys, let's toast to love and the island of Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know if we're allowed to do that, but we are doing it anyway. Hey, the Bach Boys. That's a lot more room at this table tonight because, to be frank, we saw it fitting with only 3 women left that we would have 3 men at our table. We asked Jake to take a moment and say his goodbyes. And so he's not going to be with us tonight or ever again.
Who's Jake?
He's that guy who sits way over there usually.
Oh, I can't see that far.
Yeah, he's often out of my peripherals. We're yanking your chain, of course, fans. Jake is busy, making moves in the Hollywood industry. Major key alert, major on the road to major success. We have nothing but congratulations for him, and he'll be back next week. Right? We're all real proud of him. What a guy. What a big working boy. No comments on Jake? I'm the only one who's supportive of him?
I still don't know who he is.
I know that he listens to the show. I know he's a big fan. So, Jake, if you're listening out there, big shouts out. We can't wait to have you back on the show.
You've been a day one since day one.
Yeah.
And that's why we call you that. But it's Jamaica week, Mahn. And we're just as excited as Ben to be in, quote, one of the most romantic places in the world, quote, a great place to fall in love, which, quote, is what he said about every other place on this journey.
Also, he's like, Jamaica, the skies are blue, the boats are brown, the water's blue, the green trees are green, and he managed to go on for about 2 solid minutes. It was like the Jamaican Board of Tourism wrote him a fat check right beforehand. And they're like, yo, 2 minutes.
Great people, great food, great relaxation. Jamaica.
Speaking of food, we saw people eat for the first time on the show.
Yeah, we actually
really
watched them eat at dinner. Well, whoa. More importantly than Jamaica and eating food and Jamaica tourism, the fantasy suites. Overnight dates. We finally made it, gang. The real meat and potatoes of this television program. Real exciting stuff. And some major rule breaking. We're going to get right into it with that. The I love yous from Ben. What?
I just can't believe that he just did what you'd never do. And he's done this all season. He's made so many rule changes. Chris Harrison doesn't care at all.
Where is Chris Harrison? He's not even there. He just shows up at the
there
rose
in spirit.
ceremony.
He writes in.
It's just like, I want to see him more. Of course he's there in spirit. He's the meat and potatoes of this program as well. The fantasy suite and Chris Harrison. That's the meat. He's the potatoes. The fact of the matter is, I want to see more of him, and I feel like I'm missing out. The only thing I can do these days is tune into Who Wants to Be a Millionaire if I want to see Chris Harrison.
Tragic.
So tune into the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, boys. We're trying to shorten that title.
So Ben said I love you to Lauren.
To 2 women. He told 2 women he loved him.
Which made all of us very happy. And then he said it to Jojo.
It certainly made all of them very happy. Yes. Lauren and Jojo, under very different circumstances, although surprisingly very different circumstances for being both on the Isle of Jamaica and, for being ABC-funded romantic escapades. I'd like to start with Lauren. My pick. Is it just me, or is Lauren B definitely going to win this thing? We're getting really down to the wire here.
Or a new segment that Casey wanted to bring up.
Is it just us, or is Lauren B maybe not going to win this thing?
That's what ABC wants us to think.
Who knows?
Who knows, though?
Ben doesn't know what he's going to do,
right? Let's hash this out.
Well, I mean, one of the main important distinctions, I think, between the two is that with Lauren, she said, obviously, that she loves him and something that she wanted to get off her chest for a long time. And he reciprocated with, I've known that I loved you for a long time as well. And which has been so clear that throughout this show.
It was a true love at first sight. Literally, and I think they showed a clip of them, and he was like, I don't know what it is, but I feel a connection to you, and you probably don't even believe me. It's just grown and grown, and then they saved some baby turtles together, and that was, how can you not fall in love with those turtles?
I mean, if baby animals don't make you feel like a schoolboy or a little girl, then I don't know what will.
Between the 2 of them, their mean age was
7.
6. Yeah. Hey, nice. Yeah. Means averages out to about 6.5. I think, because Ben was like, I feel like a little boy. And then Lauren was like, I feel like a little girl. And he didn't even know that she said that, or she didn't know he said that. And like it just shows like they are so on the same wavelength like all the time. He told her he cried to Molly Bushnell of Chapman University. Shout out to Molly. And she was like, "Oh my God, I did too."
Scampering up rocks, as all good schoolboys do, wearing his shorts again.
Yeah. Ben,
good airtime for his legs.
Great airtime for Ben's legs. Great airtime for
No pun
Sandals.
intended.
For Sandals Beach Resort.
Sandals.
Great airtime.
Great
Airtime for Manwich. Really solid promo in the middle there, and great airtime for Turtles.
So,
right? Great airtime for Turtles.
Here's
You
the
learned some
thing.
great statistics, which I forget. Something about like thousands of them don't make it, or something.
0% of baby turtles are involved in Manwich meat. Something that is
Which is important.
very important to know. As a Bachelor supporter, you also are a supporter, therefore, of Manwiches. And you should know-
Cruelty-free.
Yeah, cruelty and baby turtle free.
Actually, we can't confirm that Manwich is cruelty free. I actually highly doubt that Manwich is cruelty free.
Well, we can't say it's baby turtle free
100%.
because they're all in the ocean, released by Lauren B. and Ben.
They saved them. They saved them.
they saved them from the cabs.
The cabs. Those little
Those pesky little pinching cabs down by your ankles. They'll get you. Just like Amanda's little ankle biters. You know, those cabs will get your ankles too.
Are you comparing
Amanda's children to the cabs?
to
Yes,
are-
I am.
cabs or crabs? Daniel has a tough time with the letter R.
I do.
You're as bad
really hard.
you're as bad as Kaylin on Emily Maynard's season comparing her child to baggage. Daniel,
Sick reference, bro.
thank you.
You always have the sickest references.
I keep shouting out that one reference though. It's just Emily Maynard's really important to me,
I
guys.
understand. Wait, so guys, I want to get to this. Do you think that it's possible for Ben to really be in love with two women? Do you think the Jojo "I love you" was real, or do we think that this is producer stank?
Well, it's a fine line. There's shades of gray. There's at least 50 of them.
I mean, I think it is possible, but I think only at this stage of the process, wherein I think ABC makes it clear, and like there's just the trajectory of The Bachelor. It's like societally acceptable for him to be in love with two women. Like he knows that he has another week. He knows that he has time to think about it, and he feels comfortable saying to both of them, "You're equals at this point." But obviously next week, as we saw in the season preview, he says, "I love this woman, but I love this woman more." And I think that's what's going to become clear is that he might love one or two, but that he'll love one more and it'll come to fruition.
Well, I think love takes all forms too. You know, like my perception of it is that it's Ben is so obviously head over heels for Lauren, and I think she is too. But I think he does love JoJo, but I really think they have more of like a friendship love. You know, I really think that he feels like he can just open up to her and be himself around her, which is great and all. But I don't think he gets that same kind of like butterflies. And I think the reason he's not fully comfortable with Lauren is because he knows how much she could hurt him, you know?
Yeah, so you're saying he's like more of a friendship love, and that's the way he's justifying it in his mind, so that he's not lying.
Well, exactly, because I think the producers told him. I do think the producers told him to say, "I love you" to JoJo, because is it just me or is Lauren B definitely going to win this thing? I mean, they needed something to spice up the drama. They needed to make drama.
Look, I agree with you in that I think this week would have been empty if he only said "I love you" to one person, and that would have been like no drama for the season finale. So maybe some producer intervention. But counter argument, he said unsolicited to JoJo, like, "I love you," and I bought it. Like I really bought it. He said like a couple times, like out of nowhere, just looking at her, "I love you," and I think this is new. I do think it's new. I think that we've seen Lauren B and him have this spark forever, and so it's weird for us to sit here and think there might be someone else who could win this thing. But I don't know. You know me, I'm a hard hitter about the right reasons. That's why I sent Kayla packing a couple weeks ago, because obviously, as we saw throughout the rest of her tenure here, in my opinion, she was not here for the right reasons.
And it's unclear if she was. I just think that she probably isn't ready for TV love. In just that she's got a wild imagination. You know, she got a little too carried away, whereas Lauren is reserved. Lauren holds back, and so does JoJo, and I think that's why Ben likes him, is because even through all the craziness and all the ABC money-funded dates, you know, they were able to keep it real and not get carried away.
Well, here's the thing. Are we moving into this topic? I know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, are we?
Because I wholeheartedly disagree with you on the Kayla thing, but we can hop into that now.
We can get back to there.
Okay, we can get back to there. I think what were you going to say? The point is, Casey.
The point is just that, like, I saw something in Jojo that I didn't see in Kayla, which is that I believed her and I believed Ben that he felt the same way. And so I really do think at this point it's a 2-horse race. And I think that it's nice to see Ben really questioning this investment that he's making to the rest of his life with these women. You know, he's understanding the gravity of his actions, and so he's taking his time to make sure, if it is Lauren B, that he really thinks through Jojo. And so I think it's an important step for him.
I just think that if you're gonna break the rules, only do it one time. Like, this is so messed up. Like, he is going to break someone's heart at this point. They both think he broke the rules just for them, which means that they both think that they're the one. They think he's going to propose. It's a very Nick Viall, Nick Viall, according to Sean, right? He used to call him Nick Viall.
Yeah, you got that right.
You got me, Nick Viall. You got me, yes or no?
Yeah, man, but I totally agree with you.
No, but I think that's what happened with Nick Viall. That was what I was getting to, is that Nick Viall said like something to Caitlyn that like he was like, "You said you love me," and she was like, "No, I didn't." And like, we don't know, it was off camera, but like, you know, Ben is setting himself up for a similar. He's got a target on his back no matter what happens at this point, because he's gonna hurt someone.
But he also saved a bunch of baby turtles this week, which I think cancels itself out.
At the end of the day, he's a turtle hero.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. Ben, we love you. I had my doubts at the beginning, but we're all for you right now. And I just want the best for you. I really hope you don't get in a lot of trouble. And I think he's going to be happy no matter what. He's got 2 great girls. And
there are 2 schools of thought on this. There's one that Ben is just barely trying to scrape by, trying to get through the end so that he can have an amazing relationship with Lauren B.
Well, he's not scraping.
And, you know, the thing is once this show's over, I don't think him and Lauren B's connection has made for good television, because when they're on screen together, it's awesome. But when Ben's with anyone else, which is the majority of the show, that isn't too dramatic. But there's that school of thought, and then there's the other thing that Ben very well could be in love with Jojo as well. That she could be a late bloomer. I mean, Jake picked her from the beginning. We did not think she was going to make it this far.
It's true. Who would have ever thought Unicorn Girl was going to be in the final 2? Am I right? Like, actually, Jake, I have a quote here from Jake, with us in spirit, big working boy. On the bet page of the batchboys.net, check it out for all the rules, terms, and condition on the bet. These 2 already lost, so whatever we're going to have to do, they're going to have to do it. I picked Lauren, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sitting pretty here. So make them do something really embarrassing. Tweet at us or post it on the page about your suggestions for the bet. But Jake said on night 1, and I quote, "I'm big on sleeper agents. I'm going to have to give it to Jojo. We didn't see much of her, but what we did see is that she's not afraid to speak her mind." And hey, that's held true. It's Ben's favorite thing about her. A great call, Jake. And, the fact of the matter is she's been a sleeper agent. She was the Unicorn Girl, and she's in the final 2.
Jojo keeps it real is what we used to call her.
Yeah, I mean, I think it says a lot that she's still here after the kind of atrocious hometown she had. Like, she had a bad hometown, and for many girls throughout the history of this show, that would have been the end of it. But he was not scared away because he really cares about her, and he wants to see if he could, take the next step with her. He wants to see if he could be accepted by her family.
But we'll see how deep that connection goes in 2 weeks at the shocking finale of The Bachelor on ABC. But the most dramatic but also least surprising part of this episode was Kayla going home. I just knew he had to send her home. He couldn't string her along. Like I said, she'd fallen too hard, and she could not have dealt with the idea of going to like meet him to be proposed to and then just getting like sent home. Like, that would not, like, she would have broke. I don't know what he would have broken, the poor girl.
Here's what I wrote for my notes on Kayla.
Ooh.
Taking a little notes during the show.
Clear Eyes Dan pulling out the old
starts
notebook.
off the episode strong. They cut together a little highlight reel with her. We see her make another sweet basketball shot, thus proving further that everyone on this show is better than Ben at basketball.
Yeah, we did see that in the clip, which we didn't see in the real show.
And just like the arc of the basketball shot, we go from a high to a very low. Their boat ride was super awkward, but what's crazy is their date didn't go well. She tells him she loves him. They spent a whole night talking. Her hair seemed very well kept by the next morning, so I think they really just talked.
Well,
but here's the thing: when they bring her back, this goes back to my theory that the producers on the show are very much like shepherds. They're like, "Kayla, you really excited to come see Ben? She says, yeah, I'd love to see Ben. Well, let me take you to the special pasture where you can come graze on the special grass. And this is the only pasture you're ever going to graze on in this island of Jamaica.
The beautiful green pasture where she can just run around forever and ever and chase squirrels. I mean, I'm getting into dog metaphors, but that is what Kayla would do, I imagine.
But this is what I wrote. Kayla round 2, even more sad. Wow. Like, wow. Sad. Bachelorette? Question mark.
What?
Here's the thing.
That's the most incoherent stream of notes that anyone has ever made a point to read.
I'm a man of mystery. Here's the thing. I was actually like brokenhearted for her. Like straight up.
No.
Like I don't think she was here for the
Ew.
right reasons, but her emotions were real. You know, she was hurting.
Right.
And the thing was she was so excited to see Ben, and then Ben just took her out back and said, "Lenny, look at the rabbits."
He gave her an old yeller, just like old Jubilee. Just took her around back and just ended it. Just ended it right
Here's
quick.
the thing, though. Kayla, the fangs came out at the end, and this is what was so crazy.
Oh, no.
No,
almost.
'cause
She wanted to.
She wanted to, but she hesitated, and she lost her chance.
Yeah, well, she was going to be like, how could you spend that night with me? Like, what the heck? And Ben was just like, well, I needed it.
Well, she had the choice to either be Joe from Caitlyn's season or be Ben from Caitlyn's season. Go out as a nice, head held high kind of guy, or just turn instantly into just like, I hate you on TV.
Or what was his name? The guy we made the crazy King Koopa.
Oh, Koopa.
Koopa went out with a
Koopa
fury.
went down hard, but
Yeah, Koopa went out with a fury.
Well, he played the race thing, which was a totally
which was
different
very,
issue.
very
But
bold.
Here's the crazy thing: is like we have been saying that she hasn't been here for the right reasons. And as soon as Ben laid it on her that she was going home, you could see it in her eyes. The jig was up.
I could see it
He
in
says,
her eyes.
"I'm really gonna miss you." She says, "No, I don't need to hear that. Like, I'm done. It's okay."
Well,
why
I don't
don't
know.
I just go?
That's
normal breakup
no,
stuff.
that's a self-preservation thing, Daniel. Clearly, you've never broken a girl's heart or had your heart broken. More importantly,
Look, here's the reason I want to key in on what she said that as to why she was so upset, and I think understandably so, is that she said, I told Ben I love him, and I looked into his eyes, and I could tell that he felt the same because he can't say it. He can't tell people that he loves it. And then he told her, I told 2 women that I love them. So
That's
she
rough.
knows that all, and he said all 3 women expressed that they love me. He tells her everything, which is shocking. Not only did he break all the rules, he then told the girl he's sending home that he broke all the rules. Something that she thought he couldn't do.
It's tough. Ben is frankly like too honest. He's honest to a flaw. But God, what a flaw. Am I right? I mean, God, just a respectable gentleman who the only thing you can say about him is that he follows his heart maybe too much.
Well, he offered to walk her to the car afterwards, and she's like, "Sure." She gets in the car and she starts crying.
Well, because she was
She
like, I was
gets
ready.
back
I was
out.
ready.
And the thing was like they had a very sticky situation at the end there where Kayla wanted some closure, right? And
No, that was the thing. She got out to call him out, and he was like, no, I needed that moment. So, and then
she wanted to know basically like, did you know before, or did you like really need this week?
Right, and
Yeah.
I think he genuinely needed the week. Plus, she was the first date, so I really think, I don't know.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think he did, but he had the opportunity. She was going there. She wanted to. She was angry, and she could have phrased that question in a much tougher way.
I think
for
we
Ben
can
to answer.
summarize this whole debate with a simple sentence, which is, it was fantasy suite week, baby. I mean, Ben had to do what he had to do. And I think, in all honesty, the overnights must have helped him. Regardless of what happened in that room,
They
think
talked.
you get to know each other better without the cameras. There's no camera pressure. And waking up with someone, I think, tells you a lot about how you feel about them. I think he needed the week, and I think, it was just kind of, he made it this whole thing of like, it was so obvious he was going to say goodbye to Joe or Kayla, but the whole thing was like, oh, it's going to be so hard, and it's like, okay, that was kind of some lame TV.
Well, I mean, I love and respect Ben, though, for the way he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I think you said it best, and that just he really says what's on his mind to a fault. And the thing that's great about it is that it makes for some really hard-hitting emotional relationships. And sometimes it also results in you crying on the grass and, in a little fetal position in the garden of shame. And that's what happened to Ben this week.
Yeah, he sure was in a garden of shame. And until actually the rose ceremony, which was hilarious. I can't believe they were all so buddy-buddy. It was like
So
a
awkward.
little polyamorous. No, it wasn't awkward. That's
It was
the
like Three's
thing.
Company awkward.
Exactly. It was like quirky. It was like polyamorous. It was like so perverse. Like, because in the past, like at the final two, it's always like there's a lot of like animosity, and they both like are like, he's mine. But like they were just like, oh my God, isn't this like so fun? Jamaica, man.
Oh, well, I have a theory as to why they were like that, and it's not a very shocking one. I think it's very explicit. Is that
Jojo knows she's going to be the Bachelorette, and she knows Lauren's going to win. It doesn't matter.
no,
it's
that
over.
they,
Who
that
cares?
They both think that they're gonna win because he told both of them, "I'm breaking the rules."
True.
He told both of them, "I'm breaking the rules and telling you I love you." So they're
Yikes.
both looking at the other one, going, "You have no idea how good I have it."
Well, that was like the look Chris Harrison gave Lauren, because JoJo comes in and she's like, "Did you know Ben told me he loved me?" And Chris was like, "Whoa, really?" And then Lauren comes in and she was like, "Did you know Ben told me he loved me?" And he was like, "Really? Interesting." He looked like the smirky face emoji, which is my personal favorite emoji. I use it all the time. Smirk. Wow, that was not a smirk. I think I just had a minor seizure.
Tweet out the Bach Boys with a better smirk than Ryan.
Yeah, Instagram us. Send us your best smirky face emoji face. We'd love to see it. Yeah, that was great. I thought it was so weird that they're all buddies, but I think you're right, Casey. I think they both really think they're going to win, and that's why next week's going to be interesting. And whether or not that was producer stank or just Ben being way too earnest, the finale is gonna be great. I mean, we've said it's been a weird season because it's so obviously Lauren, but I don't know. I liked watching them fall in love, and now there's this whole thing with JoJo and the rule breaking. ABC obviously allowed it, I think, to make for better television.
Encouraged is the word you were looking for.
They
needed something.
They herded him into a rule breaking corral, to go with your shepherd
Here's
metaphor.
the thing. So now we have more clarity on where this all shakes out. Okay, JoJo and Lauren. I wouldn't have guessed JoJo for the second.
Mine and
but
Jake's
now that we
picks.
know, yes, you
the
and Jake's
final
picks.
two, mine and Jake's. Shout out to Jake Collins. We picked them. We're the final Bach Boys. They're the losers. Me and Jake, down to the wire. I'll see you in hell, Jake, because one of us is gonna be there. I actually didn't. That doesn't make sense. I'll see you in hell. Whatever. We're both going. See you there.
Who do we think Ben calls?
In this series season finale preview they've been showing all year, he makes that phone call. People are saying, it could be to the girl he didn't pick or something like that, but I think that's producer stank. I think it's to like one of their moms or his mom. He's either going to call their parents to ask for their blessing, because that's the kind of guy Ben is, or I think he's going to call his mom, because he calls his mom like every freaking episode to be like, "Mom, I'm in Jamaica. It's so fun, Mom."
Maybe he calls his pastor.
He is big on his pastor.
Or his tattoo artist to ask for a refund.
Yeah, shout out. We learned out what the tattoo is, and it's that it's a Bible quote, I believe, from like Matthew or something. I wish we had the quote. We'll get it sometime, but it's from Matthew, and there's actually a typo in it that I guess the tattoo artist wrote something wrong. They wrote down the verse number wrong, and then Ben had them like turn the extra digit into a cross. It's a very funny article. Maybe we'll share it on the Bach Boys website or something, batchboys.net. Check us out. Who do you think she's going to call? I mean, he's going to call.
The mom of Lauren Bushnell.
Yeah, I think he's going to
Or
ask
dad.
I think he's going to ask for a
mom.
blessing.
Mom. It's a
Mom
female voice.
and dad.
It's a female voice. So definitely mom.
Well, hopefully both, because, the whole family should be involved.
And Lauren wins the show with JoJo as Bachelor.
I think JoJo could be the
I got to
Bachelorette.
stick with it. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because Desiree Hartsock also had a very difficult brother situation. I forget which season was she on? Sean, I guess. Sean, I think. And her brothers gave the Bachelor a very hard time, and then she came on and she was the Bachelorette, and then her brothers gave her guys a really hard time. So I think they're excited because that can make for some good TV with JoJo. She's just bubbly and nice and cool, and she's overcome her own romantic struggles. I really think JoJo's my new pick. But it's ever evolving. It's ever evolving.
I mean, I just feel like it's a really big week for Chad, because
Yes.
the love of his life is about to go out there and possibly get proposed to, and what is he gonna do? He just has to sit there and watch it on national TV. Tough week for Chads everywhere, man. Shout out to Chad.
Pour one out to Chad right on top of our
Not
sound
for me.
equipment. You're not gonna shout out Chad?
Nope. My friend's car used to be named Chad. I hated that car.
He hates all
so
Chads.
I'm sorry.
And to the Chads in my life, you know who you are. You're my day ones. Or I don't know. I met you on like day 5, I think. I don't know.
Jake's
Regardless.
Jake's always his day one.
Jake, let's cheers to Jake real quick because we said his name. Cheers
Is this
to
our moment to say our goodbyes?
Well, we'll take a moment to say our goodbyes. I'm excited for the Women Tell All, personally.
And the boys
Tune in for the
tell
boys
all.
tell all.
The
Our side of the
boys
story.
Will tell all. The boys will tell all, and we're very excited to. It's going to be great. We're winding down. The bet, make sure you send us your dares for the bet because 2 of these guys are going to have to do it. I might if Lauren doesn't win, but let's be real. She's going to win. Tweet them at us. You can follow us on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website. Best way to listen is go on iTunes. Subscribe there. It's great. If you want to watch it, go on YouTube. It's there. Great. Subscribe on both and comment.
Subscribe.
We all check it. We all want to chat with you. So
And share.
Connect with us there.
We're trying to spread the good word, and especially with the season finale coming up, we got to get this to everyone in the Bachelor Nation because we know what's up. We picked the final 3. Me and Jake picked the final 2, and one of us is going all the way.
Wait. Did you and Jake pick the final 2?
Me and Jake picked the final 2, and I'll see him in hell or
Cheers to
something.
hell.
Or to hell.
And Jamaica.
And Jamaica.